All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have the honor of introducing Fernando Castelloes from PETROBRAS, and I'll just give the floor over to you. How much time would you like to reserve for Q&A?
I planned myself to have some 10 to 15 minutes at the
Okay,
end. I
okay.
hope I can stick to the plan. So.
I'll help you stick to the plan.
Yeah.
So go ahead and introduce yourself and get started.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to talk a little bit with you about what Petrobras, Brazilian oil company, oil and energy company, has been doing for the last couple to 3 years, and what we are planning to do for the next years as well on our data journey, a data and analytics journey. One very comforting feeling that I've been having this week is to understand that many of the struggles and the difficulties that we are having, everybody's having, and this is has been so comforting, so motivating as well, because we are not so lost in the entire journey. So let's talk a bit about it. But at the first point, I'm going to bring you all to a vision, to a situation that we provoke the company to envision on democratization of data and analytics, in which I'd like to introduce Marina. Marina is one person from our business, any business at all, upstream, downstream, corporate, you can choose. She's an analyst, data analyst, data scientist, and she has a problem on the business that she needs data to solve. She needs data to improve her knowledge about the problem and get some value insights. And she is able, because of the architecture, because of the processes, because of the literate state that she has, to browse the data she needs to find these products from any segment of the company. The products that have quality ensured, they have lineage, they have definitions, they have context adequate to the usage she needs to do, and she can directly self-service put this data, use this data in any analytics suite that she has for her usage, even for descriptive analytics or for advanced analytics, machine learning, and so on. And with that, she can generate this value insights that she needs, and for that, she improves her own potential, her own performance in the business. However, in some cases, the data is not ready, the data is not available in this data browser. So if Marina is the owner of this data, she's the owner of the process who deals with the data, she's able to work with tools of governance to create data products of her own. She can self-service on day by day, creating new data products with all governance requirements and all quality requirements for publishing on the data browser, as well as all the other products. However, the data she needs may be from another segment. She doesn't own it. She doesn't have authority to do it directly. So she can demand, she can pose a demand in the governance process for data teams dedicated to different segments, data governance, produce these new data, and the cycle is closed. What we've been envisioning for Petrobras is to achieve that in the next 3 years, at scale, a corporate scale, and that is the proposal of what I'm going to show, what we've been doing and how we want to achieve that. When we encompass all the architecture, all the processes, all the governance to sustain that, we used to call it IDA at Petrobras. That's the name, that's the brand we established for this vision. IDA actually is an acronym for Portuguese description of a data and analytics integrated platform. It's Ambiente Integrado de Dados e Analytics in Portuguese. So it's easy to say brand, and it's sticky. So that's what we are that's what we are selling as a vision. Well, I'm Fernando Castelloes, as Mark kindly introduced. I'm the general manager at PETROBRAS, at IT structure of PETROBRAS, responsible for all IT architecture for data and analytics as well. PETROBRAS, for those who are not familiar, is a Brazilian energy company. It's the largest Brazilian company on market cap. We have exploration, production, refining, power generation, and trading, with a special focus on the pre-salt reservoirs, in which we are technical leaders in the world. Nobody can produce pre-salt with leadership on technical skills that PETROBRAS can do. We are now repositioning the company in this year for the next strategic plan for energy transition as well, with an order of magnitude of $78 billion capex in the 5 years of the strategic plan. Just for some highlights, the first quarter this year performance, 2.13 million barrels per day of oil produced only in pre-salt. This is quite impressive. And $7.3 billion income per quarter. So this is the size of PETROBRAS company. Just to have some numbers, I'm not going much deeper on that. Data and analytics in oil and gas industry, it's long. Actually, we only have oil because we have data. The oil begins as data. It's funny to have the metaphor that data is the new oil, because oil actually was the old data, because we've been using, there's no oil if there's no data. Because all begins with seismic data. All begins with trying to understand, just like ultrasound examinations that we do in healthcare. We do the same using the reading of sound waves in the subsoil to find the reservoirs and to understand where can it be a gas, where can it be oil, where can it be water, what can be the shape of the reservoir, and so. And we have this long date dealing with data governance for different driven forces. I'm going particularly to talk about PETROBRAS. But PETROBRAS had 2 driven forces for dealing with data governance since now on the we say geoscience data, all these wells and rocks and reservoir and seismic data and so. The first one is a technical one, which is the geologist, when he needs to make the interpretation of all this information, he uses different commercial platforms to do so. And each platform somehow have different ways to model and to ingest data and to kind of treat the data. But the data are the same, so we needed to evolve in data governance to better understand how can we translate data from one platform to another platform and still being able to identify the same data is being interpreted in one platform or another platform. So this is a technical challenge that we've been dealing since the beginning. And for the last 25 to 30 years, we have already a normative mandate, which is the exposition of all this geoscience data to a government agency of Brazil. And you need to have consistency, you need to have data that is coherent among them, so we don't have any kind of consequence, fines, and so. So oil and gas industry has this experience, but much more in this field, in this segment. But there's still a lot to improve on digital innovation, and we have a lot to do yet to achieve that vision, which is, even for geoscience, not a reality. So that vision can also benefit geosciences as well. Okay, and how to begin, how to start from where we are and to achieve either vision, how to go to that point. There are many ways to do that. We have so many articles, we have so many research, so many different ways to think about it and to consult and to go to Gartner, go to Harvard Business Review, to go to any other different ways. We really don't know. It's a mess, it's a confusion. We really only headaches by now. It's just a confusion. There's a metaphor on that the CDO challenge, a metaphor that I learned from Robert Duke from Accenture. And he said that the CDOs are, in the market, the most ejectable seat at all. And there's a reason for that. This is us flying over. And so, there's a reason for that, because the expectation of the board, the expectation of the leadership is that value is delivered very fast. The results on the business need to come very fast. However, if you want to do some sustainable work on data, there is a lot of structural work to be done. And if you don't deliver value in the journey and you dedicate yourself only to this structural work, you're probably going to be ejected because the patience goes away very far. And I love this analogy. I wanted to share with you. And there are also internal barriers to begin this journey to address this situation. There's also another very nice analogy that I have to share from John Hagel at Deloitte, which is the corporate immune system. Every little new thing that you propose to the company, the immune system goes and attack and destroy completely. Okay, there's nothing new that can survive here, let's destroy it. And this is absolutely subliminal. People don't realize they're doing it. And this comes from culture, this comes from the silos, this comes from protecting their own status quo and so. And we have also the gold fever of, okay, let's have value at any cost, quickly for anything, and people don't know what to do. People want to have to surf on technology hype waves, like, okay, I need to have an AI solution. Okay, but what's your problem? I don't know, but I need to have an AI solution here, and please help me to do that. But we are really not discussing the origin of the problem. So these are also internal barriers that we've been dealing with, and we are hoping to address in the journey as well. Where Petrobras began that, it was about 3 years ago. We had a partnership with Accenture, and this is not a propaganda, in fact, believe me. But as peers, I'd like to share with you how was the journey. It was important for us, this partnership, because it opened our eyes in many aspects. We won't be able to do it without the partnership. So they brought us a framework for an assessment of maturity, and we made this assessment with Accenture. And what we did, we benchmarked in the same framework with peers. We were very bad. We are really very low degrees of maturity at that time. We had so much to go, and we set an ambition goal of plus 5 to 6 years, which is IDA. So back there we kind of designed this future view of where we want to be, and we make an action plan from 2 to 3 years that I'm going to present some results to you here, and now we are renewing new action plans in order to make the second stage now for trying to reach up to 2025, 2026, so that we can have either operational and at scale at the company. The action plans couldn't be different, based on the 3 pillars that really supports the structural efforts. People, technology, and process. Nothing is different from that in management, and in all that we want to do here, it is the same. On the processes, what we did these last 2 to 3 years was the deployment of 2 institutions, 2 management institutions inside the company that didn't exist formally. We deployed the Center of Expertise in Analytics and AI, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, and the Data Governance Office. So we can have standard and unique processes and best practice sharing, even on the integration of data side and in the consumption and analytics side as well. On the people, we began a campaign of education throughout the company, and we were able to map so many different profiles that needed to have education, and we established some tracks for formation and education. I'm also going to talk a bit more. And on technology, we modernized the data and analytics architecture, enabling the possibilities and the functionalities that IDA demands. So this was the basis of what we did for the last 3 years. But the great challenge for not being ejected is never stop delivering business value. We needed to keep delivering solutions and keep helping the business to improve using data. On the data governance, we have established the forums. Probably it won't work well here, but on the right side here, we have the forums of governance that encompass every part of the value chain of Petrobras, focusing in the segments that we have. It is conducted by data stewards in the company. So we addressed these data stewards, we brought them to these forums, and we gave them education. This is going to link to the future slide on education. So they can begin to treat data, to curate data, to give quality to the data that belong to each of these segments as well. We've been using the basis of the framework of DAMA for doing that, and we have we have more than 140 data products nowadays curated and governed by these forums. And already 50 plus data sources at IDA working on cloud. It's already operational as this, with 25 plus business areas within the entire data governance program. The COE for analytics and artificial intelligence, we adopted a hub-spoke operational model because we understood that we needed to standardize and have unique processes and platforms and architecture and the curation of communities for exchanging experience and so. So we needed to have the hub with the great experts on data science and analytics of the company. But we were also stimulating and enabling the self-service analytics throughout the company. So the main goal is anyone in the company can be a data scientist or can be a data analyst. And we needed to enable that. And to enable that, we need to educate these people so they can have the skills to do so. And we need to enable the tools necessary for they can perform this new role they are achieving too. We have plus more than 4,000 data analysts on BI today, already working and mapped and governed in Power BI or in typical Spotfire, which are the 2 solutions that we have, with more than 26,000 dashboards or reports published now on these tools. We also encompass here more than 5 million BW accesses on SAP per year, which is huge. It's really a huge BW. Maria, don't let me lie alone. On the training tracks that I was saying, we encompassed both the consumption and analytics side and the integration side, and we mapped so many profiles that we needed to establish the education tracks. And we have, for each one, education tracks that we offer within the internal PETROBRAS university. We have in HR a specific department for that. And we offer courses from Coursera, Dataversity, and so, and even internal courses from our own people from the Center of Excellence, and so. And we have degrees on that. We can have different graduations on each one of these careers. So the guy can be a white belt, can be a green belt, a black belt. So depending on what they achieve in the track, they can have different graduations on it. And each of these graduations, especially on the analysis side, on the top side of the slide, for like changing the belt, for passing from brown belt to black belt, for example, it is necessary to have been involved in a few in a given amount of hours of a project. It's not only making courses, so it needs to demonstrate fluency in a project. So this is all managed by the Center of Excellence. Oh, for sure.
Can we ask a question?
Yes, at any time.
Is the mic active? Okay. I couldn't wait. This is so good.
For sure.
So
it's a conversation.
Is this available to any employee within the corporate operation?
Any employee. Actually, we stimulate on the downside, on the integration side, we are stimulating people on these forums of governance.
Right.
And this is the majority of the focus of the public for this downside. But the upper side, we publish that for any people in the company, anyone.
And you have sort of a internal marketing or PR campaign to get the word out that this is available?
Yeah, we've been. Let me split the answer in two parts. The way we publish and get to know for everybody in the company the educational tracks is in the sharing communities that we have in SharePoint, and
right.
When people come to get interested in the subject, and so we publish there and we curate the content in there. But we offer the solutions in SuccessFactors, which is our solution for training and so on.
Oh, good, thank you. And since I did ask a question myself, is
I
there
believe
one
there's
question in
another
the
one,
audience?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
let's
That's why I said that's why I said I hope I can stick to the plan. So.
Thanks.
Yes, fine.
Do you develop this with Accenture as well?
Yes, with Accenture, but much of the segmentation that we have here and much of the content of each educational track came from our experts,
okay,
our internal experts. But Accenture helped us a lot, yes.
And you have a partnership with Coursera also? Or?
Yes, I actually have a contract.
Okay.
Yes, we made a contract, a very broad contract. A kind of contracted credits with them, and
okay.
we can use the credits and choosing different courses, and so when someone wants to make some given course, we can give them the credits. He can
license.
For his profile, he can use the credits, and then we assign the credits for anyone else, and so it's.
Okay. Can you
I don't have all the details on the model. If you want to know more, I can put you in contact with the guys from the PETROBRAS University.
Okay.
They make it happen. So it was a demand that made it happen.
Great, thanks. And the last one, how many people do you have in the data governance team?
Nowadays, I have 8 people.
8 people.
8 people.
Okay. Thanks.
Including manager, including.
So my question is, how involved was HR with all this process, and how did you or not converge this learning with and levels of learning with the regular HR processes for like salaries and all that stuff?
Okay. Well, first part, HR was involved from the beginning because. But it was involved from the beginning with this specific university department, because it's the department that involves engaging people for training and upskilling and so. So from the beginning, we called them when we were planning to do so, and they, okay, let's do it together, and we did it. We don't have any relation on upskilling here with compensation, with upgrading compensation. Not actually, there is only one of these careers, which is data scientist, that we Petrobras is a state company in Brazil. We don't hire directly one-to-one people from the market. We kind of do public examinations for hiring people. And we need to choose what we call the emphasis of professionals. So there is a specific emphasis by now that involves data scientists, and we can hire from the market directly data scientists that can pass the examination with data scientist content. But internally, you can migrate any people, any formation, any previous emphasis. If he achieves a given graduation in data scientist track, he can migrate and become a data scientist emphasis inside Petrobras. This is one of the relations that we have.
Okay, I think we should.
One more. So is the courses required by the skill level, or is it optional?
They are by now they are all optional.
All optional.
I'm going to talk a bit more about it in the future. We don't plan to make them be required. Okay, let's see. They are required for upgrading the belt. If the guy wants, okay, I want a black belt, it's required for him to fulfill all the requirements of the track. But there's no mandatory, none of this is mandatory for the company. It's optional for each professional that wants to join the profile, wants to have the profile, wants to act as a data analyst, a data steward or something. He can join the track and do it optionally. So.
We should let you get back to your presentation.
Yeah, there's a bit more to go. So.
I know.
But ask your question.
Well, no, continue.
Okay. I hope your question is in the next slide. So.
It's probably, yeah.
So this is the part of people training. We also made an event last year, an internal engagement event in data and analytics.
I'm sorry,
subject.
I know the question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
Okay.
I'm a bad moderator today. But
Want me to go back?
No, you have to go back. Is the time required to take the training, is that supported during the work hours, or is it encouraged after work hours for the person who decides to volunteer?
It depends on the negotiation of each employee with his manager,
Okay,
his direct
thank you.
manager.
Okay.
But what we encourage the leadership to do, we've been encouraging, is that, okay, if you having an analyst in your team is important for your team, you can deliver more value. So negotiate it during work hours. Okay. It's important to do so.
Okay, thank you.
But it's still in the conscientization side of it. Okay. So another people engagement action that we made in the last years was an internal event, the Data and Analytics Week. We had so many different companies from other industries, consultancies, and I listed some main findings from the conference. I'm not going to go through them, but they are all for us that are in the in the data and analytics field. They are quite obvious, but it was quite important. Actually, this first one was a very, very interesting one, because I met a colleague of mine that he joined Petrobras with me 20 years ago, and I'm in IT, data and analytics now, and he's now at the engineering business area, and he went to the event, and he told me, thank you very much for inviting me. It's so nice to be here. I just realized that data and analytics is not a technology thing, it's a business thing. And this really stuck with me. It was amazing because he was able to realize that and to understand that it was much more than technology. It's up to him to make it happen, him at the business. So it was really nice. But it's one drop in the ocean. I need to the challenge now is to make all the ocean think like that. On the modernization of architecture, we've been adopting so many solutions, even for the self-service side, in which we need to enable people, as I was saying. I need to give the skills for people, but also I need to provide conditions for them to have the tools, have all necessary for self-service analytics. And also on the integration side, we have cloud, AWS and Azure supporting our efforts. And we have so many other on the data catalog, data glossary, data visualization, data replication, business warehousing, SAP HANA. And I'm going to talk a bit more about the data hub of industrial IoT, because all this architecture has particularities in oil and gas industry. One of them is what we call OSDU. OSDU is an initiative held by the Open Group, the same of TOGAF and so. And the it means Open Subsurface Data Universe, which is an initiative with so many stakeholders, so many partners. I'll just have a glimpse of them in the next slide, to try to create a kind of platform that enables the ingestion, the cure, and the exposition of subsurface data, which is this geoscience data that I was talking in the past, but with the same pattern, the same modeling for everybody that is involved. Do you remember back there when I was saying that we needed to invest so much in governance because we need to translate data from one platform to another? This would have solved the problem back there. Because with this concept of OSDU, you can plug the same data that is in the same model, the same pattern, and you can plug in any platform. It will work directly. This is the concept. This is the objective of OSDU. It is already in usage, in early usage. There are some of the data domains of subsurface that are already available, and we are beginning to use it as well. Just to give you a glimpse of from the operators, oil and gas operator side, well, PETROBRAS is in there, and the suppliers and technology companies as well. Another specificity of oil and gas, we have so many industrial plants, industrial facilities, and it's a huge, there is a huge gap in being able to bring all this industrial data, all this automation data for analytics, for advanced analytics, for being able to develop what we need to develop as solutions for improving the results of the company. And this gap has many different reasons. One of them is the world of OT and IT always have this kind of split apart, and the conversion of this is a big challenge for the entire industry. And we are also with so many technologies being developed to try to deliver vertically all the necessary functionalities for this to happen. So we are also going to the market by now. Again, because we are a state company, we always go to market as a bid. Now, so we just this week probably are going to open the bid for this solution as well, so it can integrate as well our data analytics architecture. And I've stopped delivering value. And I'm giving some examples here. I brought 3 examples that are very, very significant for us on that. Let's see them. First example is using AI for segmentation of equipment in industrial facilities, so we can assess corrosion and understand the conditions of this equipment. Let me see if it works. Oh, it didn't. Let's check. I don't know, someone. Can you check if clicking in the video, if it works, please? Clicking with the mouse. Oops. No, it didn't. It was supposed for me to click and it runs the video. This is probably working. No, it is not. Okay, let me just describe them. The first one that was supposed to be playing, It's a person walking through the industrial facility, and the AI goes identifying the segmentation. Okay, this is a flange, this is a pipeline, this is a structure, this is a vessel, this is a pressure vessel, this is a stair, and the colors, different colors means different kind of equipment. So you're able to segregate the assessment of these equipments depending on its severity. You can tolerate much more corrosion, for example, in stairs than you can tolerate in flanges or in pipelines or so. So this is a support tool for monitoring and maintenance of the industrial facilities.
Is that a visualization, like a virtual reality, or is that identifying where the fault or the corrosion is?
This video is just for the segmentation by now. What it shows, it's a pity it's not not working. It shows the real video of the facility, and each equipment is painted with different colors, and you have the legends below of. It's video analytics solution, yeah, for segmentation. And in complementing that, we also have a solution I didn't bring here, in which, okay, if you photograph the corrosion situation, it automatically gives you the scale of corrosion on trained data from the inspectors and maintenance guys that made the assessment before. So you can photograph it. Okay, this is big, this is small, it seems deep, so this is a 5 on a 1 to 10 scale or something like that. This is also available by now. This second one is a solution for supporting safety in operations of helicopters offshore. This is very nice as well. We have a solution that can identify even the model of the helicopter, the code of identification of the helicopter, and in real time it can assess the vertical velocity and the flight conditions of the helicopters as well. This video was the helicopter arriving at the platform, and the number would be the vertical velocity, and it was decreasing and changing, and it goes up, goes down, and the number is changing. It was supposed to be demonstrating that. And the third example I brought was AI for optimizing operational conditions in flares on refineries. We have 2 constrictions to deal with in flare operations. One is environmental. We are not allowed to burn with dust, with smoke. It's not possible because it's pollutant. And the other one is operational cost, because we use steam, water steam, to kind of modify the size of the flame and the way the conditions, the chemical conditions, the physical chemical conditions of the burning in the flare. We change it injecting steam water to do so. And what we did was take so many pictures. The previous, before the solution, the operator from half an hour to half an hour, he was kind of looking to the camera. Oh, it needs more steam, and he goes and opens the valve. Oh, too much steam, let's reduce. Oh, now there's dust, let's open it. He was doing it half an hour, once per hour, and so. And what we did was take these pictures, train with the operators, and close the loop with AI. So the AI is already operating the flare and opening the valve, closing the valve by also from intelligent video analytics. So these are 3 examples of what we've been doing for not stopping delivering value and not being ejected at all. But let's talk about the future, what we are going to do for the next 3 years that we understand we need to improve to achieve IDA vision. It's still on these 3 pillars. On the processes side, we are trying to discuss with the board, with the high management of the company, and document a strategy for the company on data and analytics. Most of what we are doing by now is, how can I say, one by one demand. And okay, I would like to do that. I would like to do the other one. Let's try to make a unique effort for the company. This is a discussion we are trying to propose for the board. And we need to also evolve the operational model to scale that, because when we propose a higher ambition, we need to be able to respond to that. So we are really discussing that by now, so we can have this kind of strategic map of value for AI and ways to propose that for the board and to make this happen. On the people side, we understand we have a bit more to do than the educational tracks. So we are thinking of establishing a data literacy program as well, in a more structured way, and adopting the one size doesn't fit all, because we have mapped these profiles, these personas in the company, but there are more personas. There are higher leadership persona, there's middle leadership persona. We need to embrace also the kind of educational track these personas have to go through, so we can have a literate company on data. And also the evolution of data and architecture, data and analytics architecture, because as you said, most of the solutions that we have an internal effort of integration and sustaining integration of many different solutions, and our market is evolving for more managed cloud solutions, native solutions on the cloud, and we need to better understand how to position ourselves on this new field. So talking a bit about each one of these, on the processes side, we are also studying what kind of functions we need to have in a CDAO, so we can evolve operational model in the way we are organized to respond to this higher ambition. And it's very clear for us that we need to have a function of discussing with the business the transformation of the business. We can call it the strategy and BizOps. So how does the business benefit from data and analytics on the day by day? To modernize and digitize, looking for even a platform domain and a governance domain. We have to have this very established and functions well dedicated to that. And the activation of all that with teams that can support and can deliver the value that we are proposing, and using the platforms and the governance processes that we are maintaining and offering for the company as well. So this is mainly the way we are planning to work in the next years.
So Fernando,
Yes?
this goal has not been established?
No, not completely, Maria. No, not completely. Actually, we have some of these functions already in place, but some of them yet not.
And they report to you today?
Yes, they do.
You're the de facto right now?
Yes, I'm acting like at this moment. That's it. Although I don't have the CDAO title as per se. Yes. Okay. And activation both on product management and portfolio and integration of data, and on an analytics agency for supporting the value delivery as well. Thinking about data literacy, information as a second language, we are training our data and analytics leaders with Data Lodge, which is helping us a lot. And we are using so much of Gartner as well to establish and plan that. And I can say that this conference is filling my bag with ideas and insights for increasing now that. It's been very, very touching, the interactions I've been having in the conference. So it will enrich a lot, all of that. On the evolutions of data and analytics architecture, I was talking about native cloud solutions. Even from AWS, the data zone solution that they are offering for the market, Microsoft Fabric, DataSphere from SAP. We are going deep with each one of these suppliers to understand the potential, to understand how far we can go, and probably where the frontiers and where the boundaries of each solution will be. Because we by now, by the experience we have and by the ecosystem that we have in Petrobras, we don't see a future vision with only one of these solutions. Probably we will have an ecosystem of solutions, even cloud managed, even automatized for us, but they need to live together. They need to be to have very well-defined frontiers, so we don't replicate the same data in one or another one. And how is the layer that is going to coordinate all that? So this is the discussion we are having by now, also from the architecture point of view. And the objective is to go to IDA. The objective is to achieve up to the next 3 to 5 years, but the ambition is for 3 years, that we really achieve what we envisioned and provoked the company. This is where we want to go. We really want to be able to enable every marinas in the company, every personas that need to do the job better with data. We need to provide them with this journey, with this experience on dealing with data. That's what we want to do. And I thank you all for the attention. I stick to the plan.
You
Mark.
did
Yes,
great.
We
And
still have 15 minutes.
yeah, and we even had some questions already. So, a great presentation. Round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so now it really is Q&A, and I know Ed has a billion questions. So we'll start with Marina, though.
Marina, no, Korea, but it's good.
Almost, yes.
Well, I'm so stuck on Marina.
I know, that's a good name. So how often do you go to the board?
On this subject, very rarely, unfortunately. Rarely, yes. We just had an opportunity. It was in the last weeks. I inclusively spoke to Tina on lunchtime today about it. She's going to help us as well. I'm going to share with you more details after. We had an opportunity to present a proposal of corporate-wide data governance program for the board on August, end of August and beginning of September this year. So we have this window, and it was a perfect timing to be in this conference, to enrich the ideas, to create this proposal. And I hope in this proposal we can be able to create an agenda with them, a periodical agenda, so we can discuss with them much more on that.
Great. Other questions?
I have a question about the automation and the AI and the flare stack.
Okay.
Pictures of the flame, and you used
It was
AI.
supposed to be videos. It would be so much
Yeah, it would-
prettier. But
I'm curious. So you've automated a process that was manual. If someone would turn a knob, let steam out, whatnot. How have you replaced this person? Well, like rolling this out as a new business process that has, I would assume, fairly significant implications to the business of how that thing is managed. Like, how I'm curious about that process.
I see. Well, I can give you two aspects on that. We didn't replace anybody. Actually, we empowered these guys to do other things, to do better, more valuable things than to watch a camera and change the valve. So they are doing other things. They are planning how to optimize other parts of the facility and so. So this is the first one. And the second part of the answer would be that we needed to have a very strong management, change management with the business, with the unities, because it might seem simple to have a camera doing it, but the confidence of the operators on, okay, the AI is not going to scroll everything and destroy the facility and everything is going to explode and I have a trip in the facility and lose production and stuff like that. So this was really a change management process so strong, and we needed to have so many people from the business showing that. From business, even in the headquarters for refinery, they needed to embrace that. They needed to sponsor that because the operator in the refinery, the level within the field, they need to be comfort with that and confident on the solution. So it was really a process. It was not just, okay, turn it on and let's see what's happening. In fact, it was even much far from that.
Not like the Tesla self-driving car, and it's an
terrifying.
inevitable
It's
accidents, right?
terrifying,
Yeah. One question before we go back to the audience from the virtual audience.
Okay.
What are the best next steps to begin this approach? It is long-term, but any short-term approaches?
Well, I think the shortest term approach that I spoke here is the discussion of the strategy and the governance program that we are going to propose. And what I'm bringing home from the conference, for example, is to embrace. Let me get back to the slide. It will be easier to talk. What I'm bringing home, for example, is to embrace. Let me find. Okay, I was challenged to propose this corporate-wide governance program. The first one, I'm not going to call it governance program. I'm going to choose another word. This is a learning from the conference because governance kind of scares people, and I'm going to go away from that. The second one is try to embrace at least the part of strategy here and the part of data literacy within the governance program that is going to have another name, but to bring people and bring processes together in this program for sure. With the architecture that we have now, it is possible to establish and scale the program, but in parallel, in the mid-term, we are going to evolve the architecture as well. But I think the shortest term would be to try to embrace these two pillars in one single thing to present to the company without the name governance for sure. I'm so touched by that.
Yeah, thanks, Fernando. It's great.
Thank you.
On the flare management solution, right? From the moment when you developed it to when they actually decided to implement it, like how much time do you think went by, and who made the final decision?
Okay, the final decision was from the business, from the headquarters in the business, with refinery people from operation. The manager of operation with the headquarters, because the headquarters was tracking the value that could come from that, even from safety reasons, from environmental aspect, and also from cost reduction, with operational management. So, which was the boss of the guy who turned the valve. So this was the final decision to do so. From the idea to the deployment, probably something like a year and a half of work and testing and evaluating the model and improving the model and so on. So.
Was it when you said the business, but what level at the business?
Oh, okay.
Like, did it go all the way up, or?
No, it was the level below sea level on the business. And Petrobras doesn't have the same structure of many of the market. We have the board of directors. We call the sea level, what we call executive managers, and we have general managers below, which was my level, for example. And it was a general manager, my peer, in the refining segment that took the decision with the guys from operation.
Other questions from the audience?
Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about the OSDU framework because I'm also working at that at my own company, at the company that I work for.
Which is? So sorry, what's the
S&P
company?
Global.
Okay.
Hi. So I'm wondering how far along you are with your OSDU mapping, and is it your strategy to sort of use that to normalize your data, or are you also planning on sort of publishing data to the OSDU sort of data sharing area? Because, as I kind of dig into it at my company, I'm finding that there are some challenges, right? Like perhaps they have one field, and for something I have 10 fields for example. So I'm just sort of wondering how that journey is for you,
Okay.
and any lessons learned.
Okay. About OSDU, the last year was a very decisive year for us, 2022, because in the beginning of it, we felt like, okay, we need to do something. We were just spectators of OSDU. We were just seeing what was happening, but we are not moving on it. We're not doing anything. We were kind of waiting for someone to, okay, give me something, show me something. It was quite decisive 2022 because of two movements. First one, we decided to deploy in Azure to take the scripts from Open Group and the discussions of SDU and implement ourselves the script. So we decided to do that, to try to put our hands on and see the challenges, the difficulties, the opportunities on that. And we did it, and we have already data, real data from us, from well profiles and so, ingested in OSDU in Azure. The second movement was that we renewed the license of many of those interpretation platforms last year, and one of the requirements that the technical requirements that we put in the specification was compatibility with OSDU. So it was a no going back movement because now we have several years contract with these platforms with OSDU available, and we needed to do something on our side, and we did. What we are doing by now is to get in touch also with Microsoft, AWS, and so. But Microsoft seems to be very close to offer a solution, full managed solution of OSDU in a data platform. They call it ADME, Azure Data Management for Energy, if I'm not wrong. And we are beginning already to test this ADME solution of them. And what we want to do is to stop sustaining and managing and sustaining our own scripts and our own implementation, and go for some solution that is managed by a cloud provider or by someone. By now, we are testing with Microsoft and discussing with AWS as well. But this is the goal, OSDU, not to be managed by us, the scripts, but to be consumed by as a service from any providers. This is the way we are going. I don't know if answered well. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to just ask about idea generation. So if we think about the Flare example, does the organization large enough and there's enough good ideas that are bubbling up from just organically, or does your data organization really drive the idea generation? How would you
this is I'm going to make a link of what I said about the company strategy here on data and analytics. We don't have a high-level discussion of the value generation of analytics nowadays at Petrobras. This is one of the goals that we can do and can achieve with the board, with the higher leadership in the company, so we can have a map on, okay, what should be the development lines, the principal development lines for AI solutions, analytic solutions in the company, because they generate more value, because they are attached to more strategic points, and so. What we have by now is a much more of each segment has its own strategic plans, has its own strategic programs, and okay, I need to use more data to reduce risk in the exploration and reduce the need for drilling real wells to understand the reservoir even before I drill a well. So this is one objective. And what people do, people operate in the process of exploration, of interpretation. They have ideas and they keep developing them. And when the idea becomes strong, it gets higher sponsorship naturally, and they are strategically attached because they are covered by a strategic program and so. But we don't have a previous discussion on what should be the major points to attack on analytics.
There's enough of a formal strategy processes going on at the BU level that rises up to the point where these things involve data, and that's really driving a lot of the
Yeah.
decisions about where to put effort.
Yeah, but you sorry, you use a terminology that describes very well. It's very organic by now. It's very organic. It's very. It's much more. The ideas, the ideation process is much more on the hands of people operating the process, so they can improve the performance they have, and doing that, they make good solutions. The good solutions get higher sponsorship, and it goes in scale for the company and so on. So.
And unfortunately for us, not for him, we are out of time.
Oh, that's a pity.
Now,
But I'm available up to tomorrow, up to Friday.
yeah,
so
you're going to be
I'm
stalked.
still in Boston.
Yeah, you're going to be
up to
stalked.
Friday.
A lot of good best practices. Can we have a round of applause for
you.
Fernando?
For
Great,
us, for us.
great presentation. And I just want to just ask one clarification on the video analytics. Was the possibility or the opportunity imagined by your team and then socialized with the business based on capability, or did the business come with the ideation, can we use video analytics for something like this? Is it, in other words, is your team innovating with these advanced analytics and AI capabilities and then thinking about scenarios in the business and then proposing ideas?
I see. At first, Mark's cheating because no more
I
questions.
know, I know.
He's cheating. No, that's a joke. Actually, for the 3 examples I brought, the 2 ways occurred in here. For example, on the flare example, it was a business idea.
Okay.
But on the segmentation of equipments, it was
Your guys' idea.
our group idea that came to reality on with
Let's
the
say,
business.
so if I don't get in trouble, we're done. No. Anyway.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for everybody.